Hello, my name is Jodi Low, and this is the Leadership Lowdown, powered by the BBB and You and Improved. The Leadership Lowdown cuts through the clutter and gets to the heart of what makes businesses tick. We want to share the stories that matter to you, all of the successes and triumphs and all of the pitfalls, and everything that happens in between. So with that, let's get on to today's show.
Well, welcome to the Leadership Lowdown. I am so excited because I get to be here with my new friend. We actually met, I don't know, it's been about a year-ish ago now. It's Glenna Gates, so franchise owner of Spherion Staffing. So thank you so much for being on the show.
I'm delighted. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm excited to be in Fresno because this is my first venture here, and I know this is hometown roots. So you've been here quite a while, at least, yes?
20 years, and it became home very quickly.
Did it? Yeah. Where from originally?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay. Okay. So a little bit of a transplant. I like it. I like it. And then when did you move here for the business that you opened then, or was it unrelated?
I did indeed.
Okay.
Came here just to buy the business and haven't regretted it for a moment.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the staffing business, about Spherion, and how you got started, because as franchise.
Right.
Yes. Okay. And so tell us about that and what that was, what got you into that space and world.
Well, it was a long story. I was never going to own my own business.
Okay.
The whole thought just terrified me.
Okay.
And I found myself out of a job, having quite a few, I won't tell you how many decades experience working.
It was just one, Glenna, just one decade.
Right. Just working in Fortune 100 service operations and that types of business. I found myself without a job.
Okay.
And I took a job with Spherion in Bakersfield following Katrina in 2005.
Oh, okay.
Hurricane Katrina decimated New Orleans, which is my family's home. So it was a mission of my heart, as well as an exciting learning adventure. They had hired over 2,000 people in less than 6 weeks and amassed this humongous call center to support Hurricane Katrina victims with gift cards, if real East cards to spend. So the operation ran about 10 weeks. I certainly learned a lot about staffing.
I'm sure.
At scale at that point.
Yeah.
And, decided, what the heck, I'll never see it more of a challenge than that, so I may as well buy the darn thing. And yes, I bought a job.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you did.
I did. The franchises in Fresno and Visalia were available at that point in time. So I jumped in with both feet.
So you acquired both at the same time. Wow.
And there's no looking back after that.
Yeah.
It came with a very experienced staff, really talented people, and a good group of customers, and we learned a few lessons together.
I'm sure.
It was fun.
I am sure. So tell us about that leap in your mindset, and what made you actually pull the trigger? Obviously you were looking for work, but what made you say, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur, yet here I am?
Well, part of it was the appeal of Fresno itself. The small town feel with enough big city amenities, less shopping, I might add.
Yeah.
But big city amenities to make it feel comfortable. Yeah. This is folksy, it's home, people are kind. And that felt good to me. The second thing that was really appealing is that it was a turnkey operation. I knew I had a lot to learn yet. And having it sustainable at that point was enough bandwidth for me to learn what I was doing.
Nice.
Heaven knows I made enough mistakes along the way. You never learn good lessons unless you bruise your knees, right? Or whatever, or stump your toes.
Fall down a few times.
So yeah, but all in all, it's been an adventure.
Okay, so you jumped in, but you said you had a really seasoned staff. So what was that like taking over? Was that a difficult transition for them and for you, just stepping into this role?
They made it very easy for me, and I hope I made it easy for them. We decided way up front that we would take the things about the existing business that they thought ran well. I mean, I knew nothing, right?
Right.
What do we think we do well? And then add some things to it.
Okay.
We thought would enhance our position. So we started with values, and we set it up easy because you got to be able to remember things, right? Yeah. We it spells reach, respect, excellence, accountability, customer focus, and honesty. And agreed that we would design our business and our process around those values.
Great.
The right structure, the right sense of being, and the right sense of alignment, in my experience, helps people to do better services.
Yeah.
Helps people to design a process that delivers to the intent.
Yeah.
And it's you can say people are ethical or people are honest or people are whatever. I will tell you the process helps support it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to develop a culture that helped us to identify anything that would look like a service failure or an excellence fault or anything like that to a customer, to an employee, or to our reputation. And so we managed our processes and designed things out there so we could escalate those items and get them resolved before anybody was damaged. We got excited about compliance. Nobody in the world likes compliance. Nobody likes audit. I happen to think it's a lot of fun because you can spot your issues in your business.
You're warped, Glenna, but we love you for it.
Well, before you just spot it well before your customers do, and prevent things from happening. I'm a believer that you're always going to do all the work. It's a matter of how much it's going to cost you. So if you do it right the first time, it costs you less.
Yep.
Your customers don't have a bad experience, and you can sleep at night.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So tell us about some of the early days and what that was like, because obviously it was a new venture, entrepreneurship. What were some of the biggest surprises or obstacles that you had to overcome in the early years?
I have always believed people were fascinating, but I think I underestimated how much.
Interesting. Okay.
Absolutely fascinating.
Is fascinating in a good way or fascinating in a not so good way, or both?
Oh, I think it's both.
Okay.
I'll write a book one of these days.
Yeah.
It might not be printable, but I'll write a book. No, they're fascinating in a good way.
Yeah.
This community in particular, and one of the reasons my heart is so into it, is that we have families here. People have lived here for generations. They want their children to do well. I don't know that midlifers, well, I'm complimenting myself, like myself, go to a staffing agency to find a job.
Right.
But a lot of young people do.
Yeah.
And a lot of early employment experience. So I like to believe, and it works out for us, that these folks get a beginning, make their families proud, feed their families. Some of the best moments in those early years was meeting an employee and his family in the grocery store and having him stop his kids and introduce them and say, this is why we're here at Thanksgiving. This business, this lady, got me a job and I'm able to buy groceries and this is my family. And I've kept that image with me for a very long time because it's really the reason we do what we do.
Yeah, I love that. And when you have those moments and those, I guess those purpose-driven moments, and it all solidifies. It's like, oh, that's why I'm here. That's why we do what we do.
That's exactly
because you could have gone a different path, but it shows this one,
and it
here you go.
cancels all the crazy. Right. You hear crazy too.
We're leveling out. This is good.
Yeah,
this is a good thing. That's awesome. And so, what have been some of the biggest surprises as you've ventured on? Now, it's been obviously many years that you've had the company. It's successful. It's growing, and obviously ups and downs in economy and those things aside, what have been some of the biggest surprises as an entrepreneur that you've encountered?
The number of hats I would have to wear. I think they try and warn you.
Yeah.
Whoever they are. Yeah. So, one day you think you're all that, and the next day there's a problem in the bathroom and you're the plumber.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, how did this?
So that was a surprise. You got to learn a lot of new things. And that's always interesting. I'm kind of a lifelong learner until it comes to technology where I completely fail. Yeah. So that was a big surprise to me, is how interesting the work would be. The other thing that was a big surprise is I like to really be engaged.
Yeah.
And after many years of leading people like that, I had to set up a system for my engagement so that I wasn't interrupting them all the time.
Oh, interesting.
That sense of ownership and knowing that your own retirement's on the line is one of those things that kind of makes you a little paranoid, right? You want it done right all the time. I had to learn to delegate more effectively and to install some checks and balances and let them run that thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to me all the time.
Yeah. And so obviously you've got a vibrant and strong personality. Obviously, bright lady, you step into this role. You've got this great team and you want to empower them, yet you also are learning as you're going. So did you ever feel at all conflicted as a new entrepreneur with, I've got this corporate knowledge, yet I haven't run businesses, or how did you leapfrog into that in terms of your mindset, as well as, because you're riding that roller coaster, as well as just the learning the how to run a business part of it?
Well, a couple of things. We have, in this franchise group, we have a very, very strong support system.
Okay, good.
The support team is awesome. Nobody's ever failed to answer a phone call or return a text. So I knew that resources were there. The biggest challenge was you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And until you have those experiences, you don't know how to navigate them.
Yeah.
That first year, maybe in the first 2 years, every time something terrifying came up, oh my gosh, it's an unemployment came. Oh my gosh, there's an accident. I've got to take care of this. Your guts kind of go to water.
Yeah.
And I'm being very colorful here, but it was the feeling that I got. You learn to navigate through those things, find out who your resources are, do a lot of Google lookup. Google's great now, and Verb, right? You know, a lot of educating yourself and just a lot of engagement with the balance of the community. The second thing that works for us is the other owners, the other Spherion owners out there all over the place. We're like a family. We're brothers and sisters, I guess you would call us. And again, nobody ever fails to answer the phone if you have a question.
So great.
So those folks with mileage and experience, are always there to help out. Great mentoring, great support, no stupid question.
Yeah, love that. And that's really the key, right? When you have others to lean on. Did you have certain mentors, whether it was in your childhood or just, early on in business, that you learned certain key elements from that have I guess propelled you forward in your business now?
Absolutely. And I love to give credit where it's due. I had some fabulous bosses.
Yeah.
First of all, I worked for FedEx. The notion of industrial engineering and service operations was foreign to me at that point, and I was 20-something, right? So their engineering training, quality management training, all of those things were just remarkable for development. That's corporate learning. My icons as a child were my mom and my dad. I think the term steel magnolia was probably coined after my mother. She's as tough and determined a human being, and she's still around with us, 90 years old, just as tough as she could possibly be. My dad, a colorful personality and a manufacturing leader. So lots of lessons from them and a lot of lessons about character. I mean, you take the high road, even if you get a nosebleed, you do what's right all the time, and you never lose sleep at night over that.
Oh, love that. And that parlays so beautifully into, I know you sit on the board of the BBB. We get to do that together, which is fabulous. Tell us about what that's looked like for you, because obviously ethics in business is not just a catchphrase around here, nor is it in any of us that really have this heart and soul and passion for that. So how does that translate into what you do, and why does it matter?
First of all, I've known of the BBB since I was a child. It's a very, I don't want to call it a vintage organization. It's been around a while and been around for a reason. This is a very important cornerstone of the way I like to see business done. I'm a big believer in local as well. I like to do business with local leaders and like to do business with local establishments. All of that's important to me. When I lobbied to join the board of the Better Business Bureau about, 10 or 11 years ago, I wanted to be associated with this kind of an organization that believes in those values. And frankly, I'm an opportunist. I like to be in the room where everybody there is smarter than me. Those folks who sit on that board are experienced with different perspectives, things that I don't know. The debates are very robust sometimes about, okay, let's identify what's right and what's not, and what's real and what's not. And it's an education every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. Were there certain things that you remember from your childhood? You said your parents were in business and things like that. So is that where you first heard of the BBB?
It was, maybe even my grandparents.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. It's been around a long time for a reason, like you said. That's good.
75 years, yeah.
Wow. And now when you look at the future of the company and the business, what does that look like in the...
First of all, for the business, nothing but opportunity. As the economy improves, things accelerate, especially in temporary staffing, and the temps will be the first to return to work. I think that there's a lot of opportunity. I think geographically, we're well situated here in Fresno and the Central Valley to attract businesses, and I think that we make it very comfortable for them to move in. So that spells nothing but opportunity.
That's great.
We manage our business tight and right. Like I said, I believe in compliance. I do the job right every single time within the letter and the intent of the law. And we have very few hiccups. That has appeal to other businesses. And like I said, I think it's an exciting time yet to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I know obviously your business is very system and process driven and lots of I's to dot and T's to cross. With that, how do you expand your culture? And when you add new folks to your team, how do you keep the people side alive in a very, there's rules you got to follow in what you do. So how do you keep that balance?
The training process is good and strong. The business is very personal. I'll give you an example, and they make for a wonderful team. So part of it's in the hiring and selection process. Are you going to be a fit with your skill as well as with your kind of social style or your cultural style? The bonding that happens, as in this is our business as opposed to this is your piece and this is my piece, is essential to making a system like this run. And the culture there is remarkable. I think part of what we did early on in making it okay to identify a problem really lends itself to that. I would rather know that there's a problem than find out after the fact and have to solve it.
Yeah.
I'd rather hit it with a little tap gun than a big hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
So we celebrate it actually when we identify something up front that's going wrong.
Yeah.
And we have policy around that. We call it next breath. Another thing I stole, by the way, from somebody, a lady up in Sacramento who was talking about something else entirely, but the phrase was catchy. So we identify items in our practice that are likely to cause a fail to a customer or to an employee. And next breath means before you breathe again, you ring my phone. And we celebrate the fact that you did. we put the right resolution in place and don't experience a service failure like that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I mean, and it is nipping those things in the bud before they become a thing, right?
That's exactly right.
I love it.
Yeah, the other thing along the way, I mean, I had another guy named Toby. I worked for him in Seattle in the early days of wireless telecom, and he used to say, what interests my boss just fascinates me. So the things that I'm talking about every day have to be the things that they're interested in and have to be the things that line up with our initiatives for the business to get done. So we talk about them every day. It's energizing mostly. Some days it's exhausting, but it's energizing for the most part.
Yeah. And that's where growth happens, right?
Yep.
Now, how do you grow yourself as a leader or continue to expand your goals, your mindset, your vision? How do you do that for you?
I ask my people what we need to do differently and better.
Yeah.
I ask my colleagues
Yeah.
how they did that. How on earth did you get that done?
Mm-hmm.
And what would you teach me? What do I need to learn?
Love that.
So lots of stuff, lots of questions,
Yeah.
and lots of experiences sometimes with other community organizations, different leaders, different things. Not unlike the BBB, I support some other boards in town and learn from all those folks.
To share best practices and pick each other's brains a bit. I love it. I love it. Well, part of the Leadership Lowdown, I love to ask a series of fun questions. They originate actually from a French talk show originally, and I just think they're kind of fun and give a little insight into who Glenna is. So if you're willing to play, I have some questions to ask you, Glenna Gates.
Deal.
Okay. What's your favorite word?
Opportunity.
I like that. You've been one to seize that. You've been one to seize that. I love that. So do you have a least favorite word?
Limit.
Yeah. And in what you do, is that where that comes from in terms of career or just anything? Like, were you that way as a child too, or hobbies or?
Pretty much. I hate stereotypes, but sometimes they're accurate. A female from the 1950s from the South, expectations were fairly low. It miffed me just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what lit the fire, right?
That's exactly right.
I love it. I love it. How about this one? What turns you on, whether it's creatively, spiritually, emotionally? Like, what brings Glenna to life?
People in general.
Yeah. Okay.
Interaction.
Yeah. Yeah. And where do you find that outside of your staff and your work?
Many of the community service groups. And then I hate to say this, I go home and sit on my patio every night with my mom, with my Basset Hounds.
Oh my gosh.
A French breed, by the way. There are 3 of them. That's a lot of hound. Re-energize like that, talk about the events of the day, and check out at 8 o'clock, wake up at 5 o'clock and go do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
So your business is your passion too.
It is.
Well, and I think when you're able to parlay a passion into the work you do and they feed each other, you love the people, you love the growth part. That's awesome. That's awesome. And the hounds. Gotta love the hounds.
You want to feel tall and thin and not very wrinkled? Stand next to a Basset Hound.
Right there.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it. I love it. What just completely turns you off?
Negativity in general.
Yeah.
The concept of I can't.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, you can't. Get with it,
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you think that came from for you?
I don't know, but I hate to be told no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just figure out a way around it or through it or over it. I love that.
Unless it's technology. Okay.
Yeah.
I get
You're like, that's what you're like, I wave the white flag with the technology.
Exactly.
Bring someone in. Help me out. Help me out. What sound or noise do you love?
I love 1950s rock and roll.
Do you?
I do.
Elvis?
Elvis is fine. Platters, coasters. I mean, well before your time, but fabulous stuff. Good doo-wop.
Nice. Nice. That's one I haven't heard much. I like that. Is there a sound or noise that you just can't stand?
I hate to hear police sirens and fire engines. It's always bad news. For
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. There's like something not good is happening. Yeah. I can get that. Have you traveled abroad much?
Not lately, but yes.
Okay, because there's something to me about the being in France, those particular sirens, they hit a pitch and a level, and it is just like
I won't imitate it, and I will agree with you.
yeah, there's something even next level with those. So
One of your favorite places?
yeah, my brother lives there, and my daughter's studying there, so there's a whole lot of France in my life, especially right now. But
how cool is
yeah, those sirens are just next level piercing. So
well, I'll wake you up.
yeah, for sure. Which I guess is the point. So. What profession other than your own and take skill set out of it? Like if you had any talent that wasn't part of it, but what profession would you love to attempt?
I think I would like to mentor young women.
Interesting. Okay. I thought you were going to say 50s doo-wop singer, but
Although if you give me a glass of wine, I'm pretty good.
yeah.
No, I'd like to mentor young women. I would like for them to learn some of the things we discussed offline earlier, that they are everything that they need to be already.
Yeah.
All you have to do is love yourself and don't worry about what the mean girl has to say.
Yeah.
We all had those around, I think.
Yeah.
And then I guess they're mean guys and stuff now too. And focus on what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some time to do that. in my
I
life.
love that. I love that. Are there any organizations or groups that you're doing that with or a part of? No.
Not yet, but
So,
I'll find one.
There'll be one. There'll be one. I love that one. I think you would have so much wonderful wisdom to share, and that empowering voice from someone who's been down the road before on would be so valuable. Love that.
Thank
Love that. What profession do you think just sounds absolutely dreadful? Like you're like, I could not do that.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
It's not about sick people. I feel very compassionate.
Yeah.
It's all the science, the making a mistake, the oops that could affect someone's life.
Yeah.
Don't want to go there.
Don't want to do that.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm with you. That would be a tough one. That'd be a really, really tough one. So we'll end with this one. If heaven exists, what would you love to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I've been waiting.
I love that.
Or here's your dog.
Have there been many?
There have been a few.
There have been a few.
Almost all Basset Hounds. Yes.
Okay. There's a Basset Hound theme. Okay.
Nona Jean, Sophie Jean. Yeah, they'll all be there.
Oh, I love that. They'll be there waiting many, many years from now. Many
Exactly.
years from now.
Hey, if what is 60 is the new 30? Yeah.
There you go. Well, and if mom's doing so great at 90, you've got some good genes going.
I hope we all see it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with that, being the Leadership Lowdown, I would love to close out with just one final question, which is, if you had just, I guess, a word of wisdom or something that you could leave our listeners or viewers with, something that's impacted you, whether it was advice that was given to you or something you've learned along the way, what would that be?
I took some inspiration out of some crazy places, and I won't share all of them with you.
Yeah.
But one was Janis Joplin.
Okay.
Don't compromise yourself. You're all you've got. And that is you live to your own values, you do what you believe is right, and you sleep well at night.
Mm-hmm. It makes it pretty easy. Makes decision-making really easy.
Yeah.
Well, Glenna, I thank you so much. What a wonderful peek into your life and your career and your wisdom. Thank you so much for making the time and sharing a bit of yourself with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, with that, this has been the Leadership Lowdown. My name is Jodi Low. Thank you for joining us. And remember, leaders are learners, so keep leading with love. And remember, you can catch our show every Thursday morning, and the best way to keep up with new episodes is to subscribe on YouTube, Apple, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.